Let's rewind to the golden days of Dallas, the iconic TV show from 1978 to 1991. Do you still remember those nights gathered around the TV, watching J.R. Ewing's schemes unfold? Dallas wasn't just entertainment, it was a piece of our lives, a symbol of classic Hollywood. But where are the stars now? Some have passed away, leaving behind stories both touching and unforgettable. In this video, we'll look back at their journeys and reveal surprising facts you may not know. If you're a fan of Dallas and classic shows, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to keep the memories alive. Larry Hagman, 1931 to 2012, was the man who made J.R. Ewing an irreplaceable icon of 1980s television when he took on the role in 1978, at the age of 47. J.R. was not just a typical villain, but a cunning, shrewd man with an unpredictable smile who was both hated and loved. Hagman had previously made his name as Major Nelson in I Dream of Jeannie, but it was in Dallas that he truly shined on the world stage. In real life, he shared a fondness for partying, drinking, and living a wild life with J.R. By 1995, Hagman suffered from severe liver failure and had to have a liver transplant to save his life. However, his spirit and signature smile remained intact. He continued to act, especially returning to the role of J.R. in the 2012 remake of Dallas, which moved audiences to see the icon of yesteryear come back to life on screen. His personal life was also not peaceful, with marital turmoil and love scandals, but his talent and appeal never faded. Larry Hagman passed away at the age of 81 from cancer, leaving a deep impression on fans. Do you remember the moment when the whole of America was shaken by the question, who shot J.R.? Where were you when the answer was revealed? Next, let's take a look at Howard Keel, 1919 to 2004, who joined Dallas in 1981 as Clayton Farlow when he was 62. If J.R. was a storm of intrigue, Clayton was the calm sky of a dignified, upright oil tycoon with the elegance of classic Hollywood. Before that, Keel had been a big star of classic musicals like Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, with a warm voice that touched the hearts of audiences. In the 1960s, he was a familiar face in every family. When he came to Dallas, he not only brought with him aura but also infused the character of Clayton with a memorable warmth and calm. However, Keel's real life was not entirely smooth. He went through many failed marriages, was rumored to have affairs, and had to fight cancer in his old age. Still, on screen, he was like a gentle hug in the chaotic world of the Ewing family. He passed away at the age of 85, leaving behind a voice and image that will live on forever in the hearts of audiences. Do you remember humming along to a Keel song or feeling at peace whenever Clayton appeared? Few people know that he turned down a role in The Sound of Music to pursue television, a choice he both regrets and is grateful for because it led him to Dallas. Ken Kercheval, 1935 to 2019, began playing Cliff Barnes in 1978 when he was 43 years old. Cliff was the perfect opposite of J.R. Ewing, a man who always pursued justice, was passionate but also had many tragedies. The audience both felt sorry for and admired Cliff's never-give-up determination in the fight with the Ewing family. At that time, Kercheval was an energetic actor, bringing emotional depth to the character with his steadfast eyes and wounded heart. However, in real life, he lived quite a private life. In the 90s, Kercheval was diagnosed with lung cancer and had to have part of his lung removed to prolong his life. The disease and personal losses gradually made him leave the spotlight. After Dallas, his career encountered many difficulties, and no role surpassed the mark of Cliff Barnes. However, Cliff still lives forever in the hearts of fans as a symbol of perseverance and justice. Ken Kercheval passed away in 2019 at the age of 83 after a long battle with illness. He left behind a quiet but profound legacy. Remember those times when Cliff looked straight at J.R. with a challenging look in his eyes? A man without power, without tricks, but never submissive.
The very first scene that we ever shot was when I was waiting for you at the apartment. You came back and said you were going off. When time happened, that was another thing. And that's playable. Then the third time it happened.
Barbara Bel Geddes, 1922 to 2005, played Miss Ellie Ewing since 1978, when she was 56. Miss Ellie was the calm, loving mother and soul of the Ewing family, a character that audiences could not help but love. With her elegant beauty, warm eyes, and gentle voice, Bel Geddes perfectly transformed Miss Ellie. Before Dallas, she was a stage and film star, nominated for an Oscar for her role in I Remember Mama, and worked with Alfred Hitchcock. In Dallas, she brought a wonderful balance between toughness and motherhood, making Miss Ellie an irreplaceable icon. However, her life outside of Dallas was not easy. In 1984, a heart attack forced her to temporarily withdraw from the set, sparking many rumors. Her marriage broke down, and her personal relationships were not perfect, causing her life to be unstable many times. In her final years, she quietly battled breast cancer and passed away in 2005 at the age of 82. Barbara Bel Geddes was not noisy, but left behind a brilliant legacy, full of humanity. Do you remember the warm feeling when Miss Ellie hugged her child in the South Fork kitchen? That moment made us believe that, amidst the intrigue and power, there is still a peaceful place called Mother.
Don't act. And that's all he said to me. And he'd say, now look down, and I'd look down. He'd say, now look left, and I'd look left.
Dack Rambo, born November 13, 1941, was one of the most handsome and charismatic faces of American television in the 1980s. In 1985, at the age of 44, he joined the cast of the series Dallas as Jack Ewing, the charming, adventurous man with an adventurous spirit. This character quickly attracted the attention of the audience thanks to his confident style and dashing appearance, reflecting the image of Dack in real life. However, behind the Hollywood halo were silent wounds. Dack once struggled with addiction, a darkness that haunted many stars at that time. In the late 80s, he gave up acting for a while to find himself and turn to a spiritual lifestyle. But his greatest challenge came in the early 1990s, when he came out as gay and revealed that he was HIV positive, an incredibly courageous act in a society still full of discrimination. Dack Rambo died in 1994, at the age of 52, from complications related to AIDS. His passing left many people mourning a talent in its prime, and reminded us of young stars who were once full of promise but were tragically buried too early by fate.
Listen, Jack. If we don't talk, I'll never understand.
What is it based on? How many times we went through that?
Dear friends, today's journey back to Dallas is like an old song, reminding us of the nights when the whole family gathered around the TV, excitedly watching JR and Miss Ellie. Those stars, though gone, still live forever in our memories. Do you remember any Dallas moments that made your heart flutter? Please share your favorite characters or beautiful memories in the comments section. If you like this story, please like and subscribe to the channel to relive the golden days. Thank you for joining us, and see you again in the next nostalgic trips.